It's not super sunny today. It's been kind of chilly and windy. Wind kind of settled down now, and it's warmed up a bit, and the sun is it's there. You can enough to see a shadow, but not bright. Anyway, I missed yesterday and the day before bringing my plants out, so I thought I'd better keep with the schedule, bringing them out to get used to the cool and the breeze. They're looking good. Good morning. I've been watching some YouTube videos about what is your dream, and there were a number of people that were tagged. I wasn't tagged, but I thought maybe I would talk about my dreams anyway. As you can tell by looking at me, I'm a little older than a lot of you. I've pretty much fulfilled a lot of my dreams in my life. My dream for my garden I'll talk about first my dream for my garden. My dream for my garden this year is that all the little starts that I've made in the house will be successful, and that they will grow, and that my garden will look luscious and healthy, and that I will have to buy very, very little in the way of greens and veggies at the store during the summer. That's my dream for my garden. My dream for my life, I was a little girl when I was just a baby, a very, very small baby, like a newborn. Some things happened and I ended up being adopted. I grew up in a wonderful home. A dream that was kind of in the back of my mind to find my biological family. I always said I didn't want to, but deep down I did want to. And a little over a year ago, I was persuaded to send in my DNA to Ancestry, and so I did that. Well, it was just shortly after it all got processed and I got notified that my DNA was there. I looked at it and I had some first cousins. And then I got an email from someone who wasn't on there and said they were my first cousin. And so then I let the other people that were on Ancestry know that I'd gotten this email from someone else. And what was the deal? And all of a sudden they got so excited. What I found out was, after I got adopted, they had been looking for me. I was not, as I had previously thought, just abandoned. No, I wasn't. I was taken away. And at that time, many years ago, things were a little different. And nowadays, if you get taken in, you can't get adopted out unless you have permission from the biological parents. But back in when I was little, that wasn't the case. So I had been adopted out, and my biological family had not been able to find me. They had looked for me for my whole life. And they were delighted to find me. So my biological parents had passed away, which I knew they would have because my parents that raised me had also passed away. They would be in their hundreds. Anyway, I found out that I was the baby of 6 kids. And I still have 3 living siblings, and they're all brothers. And I actually have gotten to meet one of them in person, and I'm Facebook friends with all 3 of them. Plus some nieces and nephews. It's been a really good experience. So that was one of my dreams fulfilled, was that I got to connect with my biological family. Other dreams, I've dreamed of being a teacher. Well, I went to college to become a teacher. I was always very shy. So whether this was going to work or not, it was kind of a gamble. But I ended up having a long and fulfilling career as a teacher. I'm now retired. And so that was another dream that got fulfilled. There's some dreams that I've had that didn't get fulfilled, and I know they won't. It's just the way it is. They were not realistic. Like I always had a dream to be in a professional music group. Well, the closest I ever came was a number of years ago. I got asked to sing with a ladies group called the Sentimentalists. And we didn't have parts written out. We weren't barbershop, but we sounded similar. We just each picked out our own part and we sang. And then after a few years, and we got to sing at relatively local gigs, and that was kind of fun. We sang oldie music, like 30s, 40s, 50s music, both secular and religious, mostly secular. But it was really fun. But then we kind of each went our separate ways as our lives went different directions. So that was one of my fulfilled dreams. Another fulfilled dream was that I got to be on worship team as a pianist for the majority of my life. I still do that, but not all the time now. I'm not the primary musician. I'm kind of a backup musician. And I play on my worship team, usually once, twice, maybe occasionally 3 times a month. And I enjoy doing that. But like I said, my position is more of a backup position now rather than being the primary pianist. I play the keyboards in the background. I dream that I get to sing more, but I do get to sing while I'm playing, and that's okay. I have some dreams for my family, my children, my grandchildren. Those are kind of private, so I'm not really going to talk to you about them, just to know that I'm pretty normal. I have dreams for how I wish that things would transpire in my life and theirs. And I guess my biggest dream is that I have a desire to know that they're following the Lord's leading in their lives and have dedicated their lives to being as close to the Lord as they can, as they're able to. So that dream is in process, and it's doing nicely. That's a dream that won't totally be fulfilled until we reach glory. I have a dream for maintaining relatively good health. I'm doing pretty good on that aspect. I am diabetic, and I do have a few other little things, arthritis and various things that I have to work on to keep healthy. That's one reason I like my garden. But my dream is relatively being fulfilled in that I'm relatively healthy, really, for my age. Why do I dream about being in my garden? Well, I grew up, my daddy always had a big garden, And he had a green thumb with it. And one of my favorite things to do in the summertime was to help him with the garden. One of my favorite memories is just sitting on the lawn with a salt shaker and a few cucumbers, and we just sit there and eat them right straight out of the garden. And I would help my mom can things like green beans and corn and beets. And it was just a part of my growing up. And so whenever possible in my life, I've grown things. I've always had indoor houseplants, but I enjoy growing things outside. I enjoy getting my hands in the dirt. My fingernails get dirty, so that part I don't like so much, but I really do enjoy it. So as long as I'm able, I'll have at least some garden. And I know that most of you are like homesteaders. I'm not a homesteader, I'm just a gardener. I have a yard. I live in a small town. I wouldn't call it a city, it's just a town. About 1,700 people is all. And my garden is small, but I really enjoy listening, following along with the lives of those of you who have big gardens and big families and live in the country or sometimes even urban and are able to follow your dreams. So that's all about my dreams. I know there's more that I could say. I could ramble on for a long time, but I'm not going to. So I challenge you, if you haven't talked about your dreams, do so. I'm not going to actually tag anyone, but I'm just going to tell you. Be sure and share with all of us about your dreams. So as per usual, happy gardening, and may the good Lord richly bless you.